Brown 45. Brown 45. Hot, 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 hot.
Of commercial-free football start now.
Hello. Welcome to the Hit Stick Pod. I'm in shambles right now. I'm not in a very good mood. I feel like I'm a Bears fan.
Really?
One of my best friends, shut the fuck up. One of my best friends in this community, Thomas Scully. One of my best friends in life, Thomas Scully. It sucks when he's a Bears fan, because that carries over into every other fandom, and he is positive and wants me to believe and be hopeful. And I'm very not positive, and the Red Sox have disappointed me yet again. But positive Thomas Scully is here to save the day. We will talk about all things football related. We will do our picks. Winners and losers is back this week. We're getting closer and closer to deciding what the playoffs will look like. If you block a punt, you're not supposed to. You should just let a punt go and not touch it if it's your team, and let the other team receive it. Instead, we learned football 101. They've gotten to the highest level of football and still so stupid. First up, Thomas Scully. How you doing?
I've had better weeks. I mean, honestly, yeah, no, it's not going great. Fantasy football is going great. Real football isn't.
Yeah.
That's about all I got for
you. Bar. Hope you're doing better than your receiver room. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, let's be honest. We had similar things pop up in the past, and then they went away.
I'm sorry, this is about you, not your team. We'll get into that in a second. How are you?
Nervous.
Here. Robert. How are you? How's the child?
The child? The child's wonderful. The child is protected and sleeping, as she should be. Everything is great. I hate hearing about Bar's nervousness. It makes me annoyed. Great.
Yeah. I'm just to let everybody know on the pigskin pick'em, I am going to be going apeshit this week because I have to make ground somewhere, and if not, what's the point of second place? So
you did make up.
I'm swinging. It's going to be bad. I just got a notification from the
schemes of pigskin pick'em.
I just got a notification from Scott Harvey in the baseball chat. Oh, okay. Don't give a damn. Thank you.
Yeah, it's another Guardians thing.
Who cares?
Who cares?
You're a poverty franchise. What are we talking about? You go to the ALCS and then start trading people. You're psychopaths. Mark, how are you? How was dinner?
Oh yeah, just finish up some fried fish. It's very delicious. In this, you gotta take silver linings anywhere you can take them. So, TU lost this weekend. Awesome. Lost to fucking Georgia twice. A&M's been in the SEC for 12 years. I think we've only done that once. So, definitely an historic season for them. Give them that. They know how to come out swinging.
Man, we could talk hours on how terrible that college football playoff bracket really is and how dumb the committee truly is. But that's not the show. This is Hit Stick. Yeah. Besides baseball pissing me off, good week of football. possibly game of the year this past week. Insane game, honestly. Bengals and Cowboys game, all right? Anyways, by the way, I hope it's working for children, but that Simpsons thing is really fucking stupid. I just, oof. Oh man, I don't know if you can be offended by some of the things that they put on made these people, but I would be offended, truly. Questions to the panel before we get into winners and losers. I think the conversation is there, but like, is Jamar Chase the best receiver in the NFL,
Yes.
or is it still Justin Jefferson?
Eh,
I guess the
also-
best combo in the NFL by far is Burrow and Chase. I think that's hard, no question.
yeah.
Or is there a
that's-
better quarter receiver duo? Rome Dune saying Caleb Williams.
showed out enough?
And
Brock
all
Purdy
4 of their total yards.
Yeah, but I think Jamar Chase is like, it's crazy how open he truly is. Like every chance he gets.
The man told us he's always open, so he's not lying.
Burrow sees other things, is what he said. Joe sees other things.
That's the only thing that they're going for now, right? I mean, they're technically still in the playoffs, but isn't it
No.
just? It's really just about Jamar Chase getting like records, so he can get.
Yeah, they're not. They are not in the playoffs. Like, I'm sorry, this team can't stop a nosebleed. When that team can do that to you, and you almost still lose, no.
Which is crazy considering they have the sack leader.
Yeah, but the problem, the sack leader is one thing.
Yeah,
It's the people covering the secondary. I would really like to see this. I don't know if it's possible, but I would like to stack the box and put no secondary out there and see if they could do worse. Just cut all your DBs and secondary because clearly they're not doing anything, and just load up with linebackers and just play goal line defense every down and just see if it's any worse than what you're doing right now. Winners and losers of this week. My winner of the week is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, 5 touchdowns. My loser of the week is not going to be here till the offseason. But the loser is the franchise that signed Sam Darnold to a lot of money, and they think that he is going to do the same thing for them. Like Addison and Jefferson are freak of natures. They are really good. They bail him out a ton. There were literally underthrown balls in this game that they came back to that the defenders just kept running. And they caught it, and they're like, he's got another one. How much was on Addison? How much was on Sam Darnold? We will never know. But this man is going to get paid. And the problem is he will not deserve to be paid because it's the system, it's the style. But again, I think they lost 2 games in a row. We kind of said the pumpkin's going to turn back, the carriage is turning back into a pumpkin. At least I did. I counted them pretty much out. I think then they had rough games against the Titans. They had those 2. They had very close games where they're not blowing out teams. Cardinals they struggled with, but I mean at the end of the day, I still think this team is a first round exit team, depending on the matchup, of course. But I mean, they're 11-2. Yeah, you can. There's always these conversations like, oh, the Chiefs, this. As long as you're winning, it really does not matter. It does not. You can say it's not pretty. You can say there's black magic. You can say there's a bunch of shit. But sorry. So those are my winners and losers. Possible an agreement reaches tonight. Okay, Christian Walker to the Yankees probably guaranteed. Cool.
They'll lose a draft pick, but they can have them.
Enjoy that pick. That does not bother me in the least. I'm fine with that. Everybody else on my winners and losers, how you guys did? You guys agree, disagree, what?
I can't wait to see Sam Darnold get overly paid by the Tennessee Titans.
I think they're going to draft a quarterback.
I don't know about the Titans. I don't know. But yeah, no, I was right there with you on Sam Darnold. I kept referring to him as the pumpkin. for like a couple weeks, and like I still don't think that he's like a top tier quarterback, but he's definitely proven to get more respect from me than originally.
I think we had our worst take on Sam Darnold when we did quarterback rankings. I think that's clear at this point. We fucked that up.
I mean, I turned that guy this whole season. He should really call me and thank me. Salah should call me to threaten my life. And let me tell you, Sam Darnold, I got that man paid.
You really did. Two of us represent fan bases that could sign Sam Darnold. One is obvious. 49ers could bring him back if they really chose to.
Sure.
My stupid team could also be in on the mix if they don't want to re-sign Russell Wilson for $50 million, whatever the fuck. They could be like, well, look, Sam Darnold, we get him a little cheaper and he does the same shit. And I'd be like, please don't. For the love of God, don't do that.
He's like taller. You like taller white quarterbacks. That's not a you're kind of a fan of that.
Yeah, we dined on that for like.
Just ask him if he can gain like 35 pounds in the offseason, and then you pretty much got Ben Roethlisberger 2.0.
The savior. Yeah, that's great. That's what we want.
I mean,
Mark?
I think Barr's onto something because the Titans, I think, are definitely probably going to do that. Like just every offseason, they think of, hey, what's the worst possible thing we can do this year? And then they go and do it. Like trading AJ Brown, firing Mike Vrabel, like just literally whatever you can think of, they just do it. Although you mentioned something about the best receiver, I will say, like, Justin Jefferson is playing his first season with Sam Darnold. He already almost has 1,200 yards. So, kind of
he's
still
been
there.
pedestrian for like 4 weeks till last week.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't know if there was a reason for the conversation. But man, LSU doesn't know how to make receivers, do they not? Brian Thomas.
Receivers and quarters.
Who should go next? Mark's got a beautiful mustache. Mark, who's your winners and losers?
Okay. Well, since I'm the guy here who still somewhat believes in them, I'll bring them up as I think, kind of clear winner. I think, or maybe not a clear winner, but definitely a winner of this week. The Los Angeles Rams, do you think, are a big winner here? Able to pull out the big win over, honestly, what turned out to be just a really good game between
game of the year. Game was crazy.
Yeah,
I don't really, not to steal your thunder, but I don't know a game that is better than that game this season. I would say Baltimore and Bengals was real close to, like, where they just kept trading shots on the field. Like, that was crazy. But like, if the MVP wasn't decided, it was that game when in a loss when Josh Allen looked at his fucking defense and said, "Let the fucking go!" Like, that man was pissed. You literally saw that man go into the phone booth and come out as Superman and said, "Let's go! I got this." And a block punt was the only reason that game even shifted. If they don't block that punt, and Puka Nacua, like, the whole game was freaking crazy.
Just Josh Allen looking at the defense going, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, fuck you. First person ever to have 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. And if you have James Cook, you might as well just put a shotgun in your mouth. That has to be the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, me. I love it.
He just failed everything.
It's really, well, I mean, it's
Jalen Hurts.
Saquon too. Like, Saquon has.
Sorry, Mark, I stole your thunder. Continue on your Rams. Gluck.
Listen, I like
Super Bowl. Here they go.
Listen, they're the winner of the week. They still have a shot in the playoffs. Could happen, but they're.
I would not want them round one. You
think Philly's happy about this? Like, they're staring at a 2-7 piece of shit matchup.
I mean, maybe they are, because like the Rams are still an unserious team. Like, because it's still, when they get to times where they should perform well, they don't. I mean, like, I don't. You can't trust any team in the NFC West to win 4 consecutive games at this point. Like, this is not going to happen. They'll fuck somebody's season up. could be Philly. I don't know. Like, could be, who's the 3C right now?
Seattle.
Yeah.
It could be them. They could certainly do that, but I don't think they're any real contenders for the Super Bowl. But hey, good to see, good win, stay alive. The loser that Cody kind of brought that up. I think the clear loser this week is Kirk Cousins. I mean, holy fuck! I mean, guy hasn't thrown a fucking touchdown like a fucking month. But hey, put up 8 picks. It looked like total dog shit against the team that said, "Hey, I think we're better without you." And what do you know? They were fucking right. It's over for Kirk Cousins at this point. Probably in a week or two, Penix's gonna start. They gotta what? Because you lost the division, you're not coming back. There's no point in doing this anymore.
What's the crazy thing is, why were Viking fans booing Kirk?
Because Kirk wanted to get out of there so bad that he tampered with the Falcons.
Minnesota told them they weren't signing him. It wasn't like he knew what team he wanted to go to, but they weren't bringing him back.
They were bringing him back after he tore his Achilles.
He said that. They said that multiple times. They moved. They knew they weren't bringing him back. They didn't want to pay him. So then he goes to a different team, and you boo him when he returns when he had no choice in resigning there at all.
I think it was just an easy win to take. They're like, everybody hates Kirk Cousins. Let's just pile on because we can.
Hey, why does everybody hate Kirk Cousins? He just
a likable guy. They just
booed Jared Goff, so.
They keep creating stats just to make him look like more of a miserable quarterback. Now his miles per hour is the lowest in the league when throwing a ball. Like, what the fuck does that even? We kept that. Now it's who owns it? It's Cousins. Those balls that he's throwing are just crazy to me. Like, I don't know. Was his Achilles attached to his eyes? Because holy shit, when they tore, he just can't see the fucking field. Like. He throws it. I'm like, I don't know when you guys watch football. I don't know how you guys talk about it, but when I see, I watch the line. Hold, that's a hold. That's I call out the things, and I'm like, when he threw, I'm like, don't throw it there. Fuck! Why did you throw it to that guy right there? And how did he not see him lurking there or he's a miserable looking quarterback in such a system. But I also think the head coach of the fucking Atlanta Falcons is. Raheem Morris is a bad coach. I don't know why he was the hire. I don't get it whatsoever. He has so many talents, but he's not creative enough in his play calling because he has probably one of the most athletic teams on. He's one of the most athletic tight ends that I'm telling you right now as a fantasy owner of him in one league. Dude's MIA. Dude's missing. He doesn't exist. He didn't exist the previous thing. I think it's just time to call Pitt's probably bad, but overall,
he's just bad. I think
bad.
This 3 straight years.
It's so confusing.
Jonnu Smith doing better things in Miami right now. Maybe
Bijan Robinson should just be fed the ball 30 times a game and then just quick outs. I don't know what we're doing, but whatever you're doing ain't working, and you paid Kirk Cousins for God knows what reason, and now you're going to be sitting on there. And yeah, right now, fucking Bucks, you beat them twice. You had the division. Now you're throwing the division away. And honestly, the Falcons will probably lose if they have the Panthers left. I could see the Panthers ripping off a win against them because the Panthers are playing like they found something. Yeah. Anybody else want to talk about the winner or loser of March? I know I just basically talked.
Sometimes it's right to call out Raheem Morris ahead of the season for being the sham that he is. I'm going to be honest. I picked them at the beginning of the year to be the disappointment team, and the Falcons are just proving me right with every single thing that they can. We'll talk about my other possible loser when it comes to the Falcons a little bit later, though.
Oh, can't wait.
Kirk Cousins throws like Henry Rodengartner after he fixed his arm, where he might have to throw underhanded to actually do something of importance. And Raheem Morris is a defensive guy, and the Falcons are last in sacks again. So what do we? And they got Matthew Judon to try to fix this problem, and it didn't do shit.
And they got Justin Simmons to try to fix the secondary.
Breaking news: 30-year-old defenders can't stop anything. Oh my God, what?
I mean, some people have been good into their 30s. Like, Jared Allen was good into his 30s.
This is my thing, is that there's a reason why Simmons and Judon didn't have much of a market when they were being looked at by other teams, because they can't last a whole season. That defense has no stamina whatsoever. It's literally like watching the Saints, but with a worse defense. They refuse to rebuild. They refuse to invest in youth. And for some reason, they have a GM who is obsessed with position players in the first round. I mean,
what are you talking about? They got Michael Penix.
You could do a whole verbal history on the last 4 NFL drafts and all the missed opportunities the Falcons have had.
Jared Verse would be really nice right now, doing pass rushy things, but he's on the Rams.
Again, I don't know what goes into I watch a ton of college football. I have no experience in like where draft is, but man, the benchmark is where people can barely draft in the first round when they have 30 opportunities to call the names. I think they literally listen to Mel Kiper and McShay and oh, well, they think this guy's pretty good. That's who I want. And they take the guy that they speak, but they have never watched game film or don't even know if they can develop him or what. Because
I feel like they never have a plan. They just pick the best available player, and that's their only plan.
Well, I mean, it's weird, right? Because Detroit can do say the same thing. Detroit, when they took Jahmyr Gibbs, everybody's like, "What the fuck are they doing?" Clearly, they had a plan. They knew exactly what they were doing. And we thought it was weird. I remember we did the draft thing, and when Michael Penix went, we were like, "What?" You just signed Kirk Cousins, and I understand how it's commodity. Didn't know they saw into the future so soon that they need to make sure. But again, I don't even know if Penix is going to be the guy. I saw Penix in college. He had a lot of question marks for me of facing the rush. Maybe, but again, at this point with Kirk Cousins, what's the real risk of throwing him out there? But
the difference between the Lions and the Falcons is that, and this is a bad example, but the Lions were let's take Penei Sewell and not Jamar Chase. And while either pick would have been fine, they decided to build from an identity of let's get the trenches going. And guess what? You can put Jared Goff back there, and he can be an MVP candidate because he's got time and he's got decent enough weapons. You don't have to hit the home run if you get the Lions right. Get the trenches.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Every good team right now, what is one of the most successful for them? Having O-line protection. If you don't have the two trenches to slide up, you're never going to go very far. Your quarterback needs time, and that's it. But again, I don't know. It's weird. Scully, who's your winner and loser?
Oh. Let's see here.
How bad you wish you could just hit to the off season already for you.
Look, I'm gonna say that the winner is the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I kind of left this team for dead about a few weeks ago, and they've proven me wrong. At almost whenever I expect them to win, they lose. Whenever I expect them to lose, they win. So because I picked them as the winners, they're obviously going to lose this week. So you're welcome, Green Bay. But they have slowly grown into the clear-cut favorite in the West. That is, unless the Rams can beat them again. Geno has played fairly well throughout this stretch. Zach Charbonnet had his best game of his career. And if I were a Kenneth Walker fantasy owner and I didn't have Charbonnet, I would be really, really pissed off right now. And look, Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's finally having the breakout that we all thought he would this year. So Seahawks are in really good shape right now. I wish I could pick me as the loser of the week, but I feel like that'd be a little disingenuous. So I'm gonna go with AJ Brown instead, because Jesus, dude, Jalen Hurts, man, what the hell are you doing? I mean, you're playing the Panthers, one of the worst defenses in football, and it's still one of the worst.
The last 3 weeks, I would argue that they are crazy right now. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
But
I mean, but still, it just doesn't make any sense. It's. I think this is what we saw from Kellen Moore in Dallas when he neglected to utilize CeeDee Lamb in favor of running the ball with Pollard and Zeke, and it led to the Cowboys losing a few games, and ultimately, it's what got him booted out the door. So, I don't know what's going on, but AJ Brown has to. He's got to find more ways to get open with Hurts because. Oh, okay, I guess. Because now we're at the point of the season where, you're making the playoffs. You got to have your best performances before the playoffs. Otherwise, it's going to be just like last year, where you limped in and you got bull rushed by the NFC South champion.
So, Seahawks, sure. I don't know. I think that team is fool's gold if I've ever seen it. They beat the Cardinals where they needed to. I think they may still lose the division because I think the Rams if the Rams have the two receivers stay healthy and Stafford, I think they're the winners of that division. I think it's just coming to a matter of time, but who knows? Every receiver is built like I don't know what it is, but every star receiver has the same issues. I just wish that they didn't go to the press and say the stuff that they say. Like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are clearly good friends. They have been friends. They went to LSU together. They know each other. Hey, were you open in the end zone? I'm always open. Joe saw something else. Like, why you like? It's one thing to go over film and say, see me there, see me there. See me there? Like, come on. Like, trust me, throw it to me. I don't think Jalen Hurts, and I think I fought for him pretty hard when we did quarterbacks, the top 5, maybe top 6. I don't know if that's the truth. I think he's behind a really good offensive line. I think he's got really good weapons, and I think he's got that ability. His decision-making is some of the most mind-boggling stuff I've ever seen in my life. He's one of the most frustrating quarterbacks to truly watch, because I don't know how many times this isn't a Kellen Moore thing. Who was your previous OC?
God, I don't even.
Just kidding. He was the defense.
Wait, who's the OC from either Indianapolis or Arizona?
Shane Steichen was.
Yeah. Okay, all this thing. He does it with every coordinator. It is 3rd and something, and he feels like he's Lamar Jackson. In the most obvious, tuck and run, and go nowhere, get tackled in the line of scrimmage, and then punt the ball. I don't know the possible. I don't know what the ruling is. You've never fooled anybody ever with that play, but that's the same thing. Even the broadcast pointed out. So Devontae Smith made that cut to the corner, and AJ was open down the stream, and he hit Devontae for the touchdown, but AJ was open. I get it. You want yours. But, doesn't the team aspect, doesn't the team aspect mean most? It's the weird thing. Larry Fitzgerald was one of the greatest receivers ever. I don't think he ever said a negative thing in his media career about anybody. He may have, but, overall, I wish these guys would just handle it behind the scenes and don't feed into the media that already is going to run with every story possible. You're just creating things. And then who was your defensive end or defensive came out and goes, Jalen and AJ were friends.
Brendan Graham.
And that's not the case anymore. What are we doing? You guys are 11-2. You are heading for the division. You are heading for the number 1 seed. You can have it because Detroit has a hard-ass schedule left. You guys don't. You have one tough game left, and it's against Pittsburgh. And if you handle business against Pittsburgh, you can win that division. You can win the number 1 seed. But you guys are infighting about a close win against Carolina. And newsflash, because Coho tried to chirp in our group chat, oh, look at that close game. Close game against Kansas City, a close game against who they went to overtime against the Bucks last week, and you guys beat them by 6 points. I had 6.5, so not very happy. But overall, like, that's it. That's where we're at. Like, shut up, stop your infighting. You're an idiot. Like, but every big receiver has the same thing. Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase, DJ Moore, like, they're all there. George Pickens will fight his mother, so I don't really know about him. But like every big receiver got an issue. It comes with the territory. If you're going to be good, you got to have you got to say some shit in the media.
So it's all Stephon Diggs' fault.
Yes.
Always
everything's that fucker's fault. I hate him.
So we had a similar issue happen 2 years ago. AJ was upset that he wasn't getting the ball enough. There was that whole thing on the sidelines from 2 years ago. He talked to the press about it. And then guess what happened? He got the ball more often, and the offense was clicking just as well. Like, this thing is completely overblown. For some reason, it's taking up 3 different segments on every sports show. It could be done in one segment. I don't think this is a big deal. Does it mess up team dynamics? A little bit. It makes it a little bit more bumpy and jarring. Of course it does. But I've seen this movie before, and I don't think it is as big of a deal as it is. As for Seahawks, well, I'm hoping. But history has shown us that it's been worked through before. As for the Seahawks, I don't know who I even trust in that division, to be completely honest with you. I wouldn't be shocked if the Seahawks just lose the rest of the games this season. But I feel that way about every single team in that division. So, yeah, they look really great. They look like they're the clear-cut winners so far. But we'll see. Also, to everybody who sent me Jackson Smith and Jigba in fantasy this year, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. I think the Philly stuff is stupid. You know why? Because they have fucking Saquon Barkley and fucking Jalen Hurts with 80 gajillion rushing touchdowns. They don't need to fucking pass the ball. They don't need to. You get the offensive line and all the other shit that feeds into their dynamic rushing attack. Who gives a shit? They lost Dallas Goedert and fucking Calcaterra catches a touchdown. Who gives a shit? Honestly, I don't care. You think I'm excited about this stupid infighting with the Steelers coming into town? No, I think it's dumb and it's not going to mean anything when they're crushing us. I swear to God, that's going to happen.
Please don't jinx us like that.
Can't win there. Can't win there. Anywho, the Seahawks thing is interesting. We were all waiting for the JSN breakout, but I didn't think it would come at this much of an expense of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They were just hey, DK Metcalf, number 1 status. Here you go, JSN. And he was like, okay. DK Metcalf was like, I'm not going to fight you on it because what the fuck does it matter? And that's fucking weird. But this is where we are in life. Yeah, I mean, I think it was when they beat the Falcons, and that looks like not that great of a win anymore. But I was like, could they be a problem in the playoffs? And everybody was like, no. And I was like, I'm just asking the question because they sort of blew the doors off of what we thought was a good team at the time, or a decent enough team. I don't know if they go anywhere from this, but they are interesting. They're an interesting team, and that's something that we wouldn't have said for the last couple of years of Pete Carroll shit. So, understandable.
Yeah. At least on the Eagles, Robert said exactly what I was thinking of. Their passing game means literally nothing. Every single week, the Eagles are in a dogfight and then Saquon Barkley just decides, okay, the game's going to end right now, and he just runs for like a 60-yard touchdown. Like, I mean,
I'm tired of this. All right, let's end this.
Yeah, like it's fucking stupid. Like, listen, I've seen it before. Okay, I remember those Johnny Manziel Aggie years. He just decided to fucking end games, and like that was just the way like it went. Like it was awesome. Like glad the Eagles have that. Like but yeah, like. Listen, like I get it. AJ Brown is a big dog, and he wants his targets, he wants his yards. But I mean, who gives a shit? Like whatever. Like and he's probably gonna get like 20 targets next game because he bitched to the media. So it's all gonna be gravy or whatever.
And Pittsburgh put 2 on AJ next week.
I don't think that's what they're gonna do. Honestly, I think they're gonna let JPJ try to beat him on his own, and that's probably a bad call, but they'll do it. And
sorry. Here comes some penalties.
Here
comes a lot of penalties. Here comes a lot of penalties. That man loves.
He loves
it. Some guys like he can give them the flags.
And
Kirk wanted him cut, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Good.
I've said it for a while. Seahawks are fucking frauds. The Rams are set up to win this division. They got 3 division games left on their schedule. They win them, they're in. It's simple as that. So there you
go. 2 winners and losers left, right? Barn, Robert.
Yeah.
I like Robert more, so let's go Robert.
When will I ever not be last?
You're hardly ever on the show, so let's show some respect.
Oh, interesting.
This is attendance based. You're losing.
Wow, yeah, that's very nice. My winner, I had a couple in mind. I usually like to pick kickers as winners, but kicking's been a little bit hit or miss lately. So
you ask Coho, and they're the greatest thing in the entire sport right now.
You mean Romo, who filled in adequately, and he got put back to the practice squad, and now just got picked up by I forget who, Jacksonville or somebody, Washington, I forget. Oh, Patriots. Got picked up by the Patriots. Good for him. My winner, I think I will take, is Kyle Shanahan. And Kyle Shanahan's the winner because no matter how many people go down in his lineup, whatever 6th or 7th string running back we're going to pull out of God knows where, they're going to be a fantasy darling. They're going to lead you to the playoffs if you need it. And he's going to look like a fucking genius. Who gives a shit if Isaac Guerrero has a foot sprain and can't play this week? Patrick Taylor. Everybody's going to go after Patrick Taylor in fantasy for the first round of the playoffs because it's Kyle Shanahan offense and he knows how to operate it. So despite how much everybody hates Kyle Shanahan because of how much of a bald-faced liar he is in the media, I think he won this week because they played what is a good defense and they sort of torched him. My loser...
Are they good defense?
They should. I was thinking the same thing.
They should be a good defense. My loser, I think it's pretty obvious. It's Jonathan Brooks. He was a guy who Jerry Jones talked about very highly of him, thinking that they had drafted him when they hadn't. Steven had to remind him that they didn't draft him.
And then thinking that they traded for him by getting Jonathan Mingo instead.
That's right. And, everybody thought the world of him. They slow played him. They think maybe he had a setback that they didn't really talk about. And then they bring him along slowly, and things are like, yeah, they gave Chuba Hubbard all the money, but Jonathan Brooks is still going to be here. Then he tears his ACL again. And now, I listen to podcasts, and I listen to a fantasy podcast where, like, when you tear an ACL, you don't want the guy the year after. You want him the year after the year after. And now you're like, cool. So Jonathan Brooks will be good in 2027, perhaps, if he comes back. That's a long time to wait. And he'll be like almost out of his rookie contract, which sucks. I feel bad for the kid. I hope this does not, being on the Panthers is tough in general. But then, having to deal with this isolationist rehabbing assignment really sucks for him. So he's my loser. I feel bad.
Yeah. I just always love, I understand you got to be precautionary. You just shouldn't say stuff on the field, like what's happening. Knew exactly what that was. I think everybody knew exactly what that was. It's crazy when running backs don't really just like go to the ground normally without like something, and a guy that has history, yeah, that was an ACL. Poor guy. I don't know. I wasn't. I mean, I didn't love him at Texas, to be honest with you, but like I thought, like he could be something big. But it's a shame when a young guy just doesn't have already a hard road to get starting time against a running back, and now turns his ACL. Who was your winner?
Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think I said this on the podcast last week. I said we don't have a new running back. It doesn't matter. You can literally put anybody into place; they're going to do well. And holy shit, did they do well? Like, your Bears fucking suck. I'm gonna be honest with you. That game was horrible. That game was horrible to watch. Like, and you hold on. Let's look at this. Barr for 10 points, Mark for 5 points, Robert for 5 points, Coho for 9 points, Scully for 5 points.
Yeah.
You thought that much boost for a Thomas Brown promotion? Yeah, not a chance. Like it was. I remember watching that. I was just like, I couldn't be more right on this game, and because I'm just sick of picking for the Bears. I think the Bears are just a fucking miserable organization that just don't do it. Like they fire their head coach. They should just quote Big Cat. They should just be able to opt out for the season. Like just opt out and try again next year. Like this is just miserable. That game was over so fast. Like I think I put in the chat. Kittle drove down, like they drove down like 2 minutes and just like full on. I was like, that was so easy. And it just continued to be that way. But yeah, Kyle Shanahan, he's not going anywhere. Like there was that rumor like, oh, no, they're going to keep him. Like, because you can literally point to everyone died on this team. Like, and we are still 6-7 and everyone is dead. Fred Warner was playing with a crack in his ankle. We are doing our job. We're doing what we can. So, yeah, that could just I could have came off rude there because I trashed the Bears. I apologize. I could have. Did I say anything wrong?
No.
Thank you. Sometimes the truth hurts. Nothing you say you don't say 6 inches away from the mirror.
No.
Everybody else, Kyle Shanahan, Brooks's ACL.
I feel so bad for Jonathan Brooks. Like I watched his highlights before the draft, and I thought to myself, this guy is going to be huge once he gets healthy. And then
it's going to be a big one day. It's going to be a star.
This kid, he's going places. But yeah, no, the only place he's going right now is the hospital. But yeah, so I feel really bad for the guy. I think the dude's talented, but like that bug is going to kill him. Yeah, remember how like people were thinking, ooh, maybe the Bears trade for Kyle Shanahan next season. That ain't fucking happening at all, especially after this game.
What if we say please?
What if we told you to be your best friend?
Well, Scully, will you take that?
I just, at this point, I'll do pretty much anything.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay.
You sure about that?
I said pretty much.
Tune into Hitstick OnlyFans to find out what Scully will do for a Bears successful season. Anybody else? Mark, do you want to touch on any of these? You're good.
An extra $20, and we'll find out what he does with this pylon.
Whoa! Oh, Jesus Christ! You deserve a timeout for that. Mark, you have anything? You shouldn't not dare think about what you did. That's a pylon cam I do not want to see.
Isn't that just a colonoscopy then, basically?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say something about Jonathan Brooks real quick. Put the school hate aside. It does really suck, like every time you see like a guy like who's brought in to be the obvious bell cow, like superstar guy, and then he just can't get on the fucking field, and it's just like it's gonna be like that for 3 years. He's probably gonna be like the next J.K. Dobbins, probably just gonna be. It'll be like 5 years until like he has like a season like J.K. Dobbins having like now, and
He's
then
waiting for the Chargers to pick him up in 4 years.
yeah, it is what it is.
All right, Bar. No pylon talk. Who's your winner and loser? See if you can figure this out. Coho can never figure out this segment. No wonder when I said it was back, he said he's out. My winner is Kevin O'Connell. He did really well this week.
Everyone counted Kevin O'Connell.
Remember when he thought?
Remember
when he thought that the Vikings signed the receipt?
Oh, Jalen Reagor.
Jalen Reagor.
He thought he was on the team, and he was so confident. He's like, when we laughed at them for taking Justin Jefferson, we made him work.
Talk about it for way too long.
Because I was like trying to look it up. I was like, wait a minute, he's on the Vikings now? Crazy. All right, winners and losers.
So my winner this week is actually going to be the Carolina Panthers. Because aside from the whole Jonathan Brooks incident, they've been looking really good. And if you look at that final drive against the Eagles, if Leggett doesn't drop that ball, they could have had a good shot at winning. I think Bryce Young and Dave Canales are proving to actually be really good.
What the fuck, Bar? What? They lost the game by 6 points, and you're giving away a participation trophy?
You guys took all the other ones I would have taken!
Oh my gosh, Josh Allen! You could have done Josh Allen. You could have done.
We basically spent 15 minutes talking about Josh Allen. We basically gave a participation trophy award to
You
that.
really picked a guy in the team that lost the game. But did you see that final drive? They looked good.
Or I was gonna pick Bryce Young, but I knew this would be the reaction if I did, so I pivoted for that reason.
Oh my! That's
that was good, Bart. I'm glad you did that.
Oh my gosh!
Fine, I'll choose the Buccaneers since they're going to be winning that division anyway. Now that the Falcons are just tanking, the Buccaneers are definitely making the playoffs. Plus, they look pretty good too. They obviously look better.
Losers, the Minnesota Vikings. They won the game, but they didn't score 6 touchdowns. They only scored 5.
For loser though, I was deciding between the Bears and D. Alford. Because Justin Jefferson made that man look like a goddamn idiot in that one play. But I'm going with the Bears because listen to these first half stats. Total yards. No. The Niners had 320. The Bears 4. Passing yards. 254 to -3. Rushing yards 66 to 7. Yards per play, 8.9 versus 0.2. That's your Chicago Bears, ladies and gentlemen. Scared. Well, like you're just having another heart attack.
Got a piece of Polish sausage stuck in your wheat. Who would have won in the game? Either Michael Jordan, Jesus, or Michael Jordan. Jordan by 2 points. Who's the greatest coach in the world? Not Thomas Brown. Those stats don't even make sense.
Were there only like screens being thrown by the Bears or something? Like what?
No, I don't think anything was thrown. I think it was into the ground.
Well, it's
And then
negative
you
3.
go to
A
the
pass
second
was
half?
caught.
If anything was
Came in
being
the
thrown, it was
second
their
half and go,
season.
guys. They went to the huddle of the second half and goes, time to break the glass. Here comes the emergency play.
Tyson
Drove right
Sage.
down Roma Dukes and got touchdown. He's like, all right, got it. Couldn't done this in the first. No, the second half plays them. Crazy. Caleb looked bad. Looked very bad. Once those 49ers decided to not continue to murder him, he scored 2 touchdowns. That was whatever. But he looked really bad as a quarterback. He held the ball way too long. If you need to just sit him for the remainder of the season.
Badgent
Um,
Badgent
yes.
47 or whatever.
Yes, because here's the point. Right now, you need to lose games because you need offensive line help.
Which they will not.
And which you won't. No, you'll just draft a fucking flashy fucking tight end or receiver from somewhere and be like,
Another
oh look,
running back.
we got another weapon.
We're not the
Or like, yeah, or an
Falcons.
edge rusher. And then you're just like,
There's an edge rusher, a couple available, top 5, I think.
yeah, they'll do that, and they'll be like, wait, well, does he also play guard? No, but he can hit the quarterback. Caleb was sitting there like, you remember the offseason? It's still my favorite text that I've ever received on my phone from my buddy is when he texted his punter and said, you won't have to worry about it. We won't punting this season. Holy shit, the Bears punted the entire season. Like, good Lord. He's got more punting yards than passing yards for Caleb Williams by a large margin.
You could say this entire season's just a punt right now.
That was dumb.
I know. That's why I said it.
But it's better than the pylon. But I'm just sitting there like,
all right, no need to pile on.
There were 3
I'll just
3 o'clock games, right?
I think you're about to bring up the exact point I wanted to bring up here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, 3 games in that 3 o'clock window. At some point, I believe the red zone stopped showing the Chicago San Francisco game. It's like, you know what? We'll just stick to the other 2. Might as well.
I think the Roma Dunze touchdown was shown as a highlight on red zone. Not like they didn't cut back to it. They literally just said, "Oh, and this happened in the shit." Roma Dunze, or I think Scott Hansen threw so much shade where he's like, "Well, we've got to show every score." So here's Roma Dunze in his touchdown. I was like, "That's crazy."
But it's only going to be a replay because we care about our audience.
Yeah. And then I think it was like one of the games that was still lasting the longest and goes, just to let you know, if it does go to the final, we cannot show you the finals of this game. I believe they are showing the Bills and the Rams.
We cut to a championship figure skating game out in Tallulah, Missouri.
Yes. We have a qualifier for the Olympics in 2028. Junior Olympics. So here we go. Yeah, correct. That's the loser. And your winner was who again? Oh, yeah. Fucking Carolina and their drive for.
Or the Buccaneers, if you want to be the Buccaneers.
They almost won. Yeah, they beat the Bucks beat the Raiders. Woo! Again, classic Bucks. You fell in love with Bucky Irving. Guess here comes White. There it is. Next week is Irving's turn.
No, it's going to be Sean Tucker.
Sean Tucker.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Game for the rule of Bill Belichick. Anybody else want to touch on the Bears?
Oh, that's another reason that the Bears lost. They're not getting Bill Belichick.
Yeah, UNC, baby.
Yeah. So weird.
Because I guess his girlfriend goes to that school or something. I don't know, but that's fucking crazy.
No, I think she's eligible to be admitted.
Oh, right. To get rushed. Like, he's just trying to get her spot in the
She could be on the wait list. She needs...
Dude, he's a genius, by the way. Have you heard his, Bible?
Oh.
This is who I want to run the recruiting. This is who I want to do this. These are the coaches
it's
I want.
crazy smart.
This is what I need. Like all of it. Like he ain't gonna.
Once I'm done coaching, my son takes over.
That should have been a winner too. Edelman, Brady, and Gronk on the desk in Fox and saying, like, do you think Belichick for the UNC job? He goes, oh, kid, you don't really want to freaking go here, do you? I don't really want you. You're not going to be that good, but fine. I guess you can come here if you want.
Jesus Christ. Did you get a B+, you loser?
Oh, God. Fucking Edelman, red hands. I see you from a fucking mile away. God damn it. You and your fucking red hands. You think you're great? You're not. By the way, if you've never heard the Randy Moss story and the Tiger Woods story, must watch television. He putted all day long. Is he putting on those greens now, Coach? All right. Other games, I don't think we really touched on it. Pittsburgh beat Cleveland. Took care of business. Knew that was going to be the case.
It looked hairy there for a quarter and a half when they could not move the ball at all.
Yeah. Then they found out. Titans Jaguars second worst game of the week besides actually the worst game.
The legend Nick Westbrook-Akine's touchdown streak ended.
Sunday.
Guess what? That'll be fixed when Sam Darnold goes to Tennessee.
Again, multiple weeks in a row, if I could have bet money live to bet on the Jets to lose that game, I would have been there because I knew what was going to happen. It happens. I had John Smith on my team. Didn't catch anything in regulation. Caught 3 straight passes and
his overtime is better than Kyle Pitts' last 7.
I could see his defense, the defense looking, be like, wait, he wasn't in the field during is this guy on the team? Shows up, scores. I love that Tyreek convinced Tua to motivate him for that last game-winning drive. Says, hey, people counted us out. Like, don't count us out. We got this. Play the new brand of Dolphins football, whatever that means. All right. Saints, Giants.
Who cares?
The one
Number 27 on the Dallas Cowboys knew exactly what he was doing because they knew he needed a better draft pick, so he touched the punt. And then what was the turnover in the? No, Graham. No, he knew exactly what they needed to do. He shanked that punt. He's like, they need a better draft pick. No. We're not tying this game. We're not playing longer than we have to. I love Dable's reaction. What? Chiefs. Black magic again, but I don't really think it was black magic this much. I know the doink at the end was the case, but like they didn't even kick it in the landing zone, so they started the Chiefs on the 40-yard line to just drive down. They end up getting the 4th down conversion to go. They had their 3rd kicker of the season, and he doinked it off. Now, Scully, that's how you doink one in for field goal, not a double doink to lose.
It's amazing because all 3 kickers have had last-second game-winning.
We should have signed match free. I'm sorry, you're going to take unnecessary abuse tonight.
What does that say? Corbin Burns to the Giants? That's crazy.
Well, you'll watch me just swing right on call. But yes, and them not having their left tackle, right tackle for the Chiefs that game really proved
they've been rotating left tackles the whole time. We were talking about lines being a difference, but the Chiefs are so wizardry that they don't fucking need it. That's the one.
You guys see where Patrick Mahomes did the Dumb and Dumber almost move where he steps up in the pocket and lets Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa hit each other in the head? Like they go straight dumb like Marv and Harry just oh shit, we got a guy. Hit right into each other. I think that's it. Falcons died. Steelers died. Oh, we didn't talk Lions. We didn't talk about it. Going forward on 4th and inches, Coho lost his fucking mind in the group chat that says oh, I can't wait till he loses that in the game. They were 3 for 4 on 4th down conversions. They had the best O-line in the game, and he knew their secondary was giving up chunk plays after chunk plays to Watson. So he knew not to give that ball back. He knew to live on it. If not, you're still going to let them have it at like the 20, 25. So I love the play.
Yeah.
I think you have to be aggressive. I think he did cost them a touchdown earlier when he went
Also,
for it
the
in the
one-
30.
The one where I was about to say, the one where they were on their own 30 probably shouldn't have gone for that one.
That was
but-
the dumb move of the game. That was the dumb move. But that one, I have no issue because either you kick it, but they're tied at that point, right? Yeah, they're tied.
They were done.
So either you kick it and you give them like 20 something seconds to drive and see what you can do, or put the game away. They put the game away. That's all you need to do in football. And again, he said it's going to cost them the playoffs. Honestly, it's probably their chances of winning in the playoffs of him willing to go for stuff. That's why his team will literally run through a brick wall for him. Like they'll literally look at him and they'll do this at fourth down. Like, let's go. And they're like, all right, let's go.
They got a ailing defense. Why not have the strongest point of your team remain on the field? Like it's just
Plus, you have the best offensive coordinator in the game right now.
Plus, Coho's probably going to go off about how like the analytics would have said that you shouldn't have gone it on fourth. Actually, it did. The analytics were in the favor of going
If it was
for
fourth
it on
and 2
down.
to go for it, I don't agree with it. It was 4th and inches.
Yeah, you can't
With David Montgomery as your running back with an offensive line that you're going to run right at Sewell.
It was
I'm going to do that.
They stopped him on third down and short. Honestly, I was like, oh, they stopped him there. They're not going to stop him a second time. No fucking
Nope.
way.
And that's the problem. Like you have to. It's like the Eagles.
Yeah,
It's 4th and 1. You have to stop them early. You just can't do it.
Yeah, you have to be the team that stops that brotherly shove. And if
I
you
said
can't
it
do
in the
that,
chat.
then-
I said in the chat when Watson got the OPI, I was like, this game's over. Because there's no way the Packers are going to fucking stop them. And they're just going to kick a field goal and win. And that's what happened.
I love that every Yankee fan right now is sharing Max Fried striking out Juan Soto. So they got over it real quick.
Mind you, he still has a Nationals uniform on in those videos.
Yeah, and he's also he's also a terrible defender now, and everybody was claiming he should have won the Gold Glove for the Yankees. Interesting. All right, time to pick games. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Woot woot. Let's look for it. Let's look for the worst game of the week. Trying to find the games are pretty good this week, or at least interesting.
Can I
Yeah,
nominate that game?
let's just start with the game that I think a lot of people are going to have. It's the Ravens going off bye week going against the Giants. Does anybody have that for less than 16 points?
No.
No. I said I'm going crazy. I'm not going crazy. I'm going 16 for
Hold
this
on.
one at least.
Hold on. Mark might be.
Mark, what?
You know,
Big
I had
fan.
it-
He's
I
making
had it for-
11 points. 11 points against the Saints.
I had it for 15, but you know, we'll just make the switch. Yeah, let's put it at 16. We're good.
Are you going to actively make the switch right now, or are you just going to say that and then never do that?
Listen, you know, what are you talking about?
I know you.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm gonna make the note here. You know, it's gonna happen. I can only do what.
Why can't you just change it right now? What do you have to do to change it?
I just
You have
do
to-
it in the-
You just have to click a button?
Yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Why
Just
don't you
doing
just
it.
click the button instead of make a note?
Okay, well then you go.
Because you seem to not read the note after you make the note.
I mean, I'm gonna make it right now. I don't know why it was time for it.
Okay. New England Patriots going to the Arizona Cardinals. Scully.
I got the Cardinals for 12. They need a get right game. This is going to be their get right game. I love what Drake May is doing, but man, that organization is just in a state of chaos right now. So, Cardinals for 12.
Okay. Bar.
I thought I had this too high, but I have the Cardinals for 10. There's a lot of games this week where I'm just like, I don't love them, and I guess that's just one of the ones that I'm more confident in.
Blue Jays and Giants are the front runners for Corbin Burns. Robert.
As someone who heavily invested in Kyler Murray and has him in 2 leagues in the playoffs, maybe have a get-right game, Kyler. This would be a nice time for it. Maybe fucking stop fucking around and maybe hit Marvin Harrison Jr. on.
Use those little legs of yours.
Yeah, use those legs of yours. The Patriots don't want to win. They're going to get a draft pick, and then they're going to sign T. Higgins or whatever the fuck they're going to do in the offseason so that they can be better. Cardinals for 9. 9.
I have Cardinals for 8. Mark.
Fucking updates. You can't figure out shit on them.
Do the funny thing and have him at 7.
My grandpa's just trying to figure out his computer for the first time. I just want to read the New York Post. Why is the thing not working?
Whatever. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I guess we don't care. The Patriots coming off a bye. You know, I mean, we shouldn't. You know, because they suck. Cardinals for 11.
Those guys were not looking at playbooks. I'll tell you that right now. They were eating food. They're planning their next vacation because it comes really soon. Next game on the slate that we want to talk about is Cowboys coming to the Panthers. I was going to start with Mark, but he ran away, so I'm going to start with Robert.
I know when you're in the lead, you should just kind of coast.
Son of a bitch.
No, I'm setting this up like I'm really doing something. I'm not really. I'm going with the Panthers because they're favored, which is insane. Could you imagine going into the year and looking at the fucking games and you're like, we get to week 15, Panthers favored. People would think like we entered the alternate universe. Like we had a big like shakeup in the world and like panaceas happen. Like you know what I mean? Like shifting tectonic plates and we just kind of went upside down. Like that's what we thought would happen. But I'm picking the Panthers for 2. Like I don't feel great about it. The last time I picked them, they got fucking torched by the Saints in week 1, I think. And I regretted it ever since. But I'm doing it again. Fuck it. We're back.
I'm going Panthers for 9.
Sick.
Again, I have to take swings. This is probably going to bite me so bad. The last time I did this, I picked for lower points, but I picked Washington and Tennessee. I said Tennessee coming up, and they got boat raced out of the building. This could happen, but hey, why don't you shut the fuck up? I am talking.
You can do that when anyone else is talking.
While you're sneezing, why don't you look up the trade targets? Because that's what we're going to have to be focused on because we're not going to get fucking started bitching. But I want to go with this.
All day, dude.
Yeah, we're going to get fucking Chubba whatever is Hubba. What's a fucking guy from...
You already signed a 3-year extension.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking baseball. Fuck you all. 9 points for the Panthers. Mark, what do you got? Fucking bullshit. I hate being a fucking sports fan.
I mean,
I should just be reading books or something, educating myself.
Talking about Jane Austen.
Yeah, fucking join a book club, fucking assholes.
I don't think of myself.
What do people do without sport? What do people do other than watch sports? Are they happy? Are they? The suicide rate has to be way higher for fucking sports fans because this is fucking miserable. A billionaire is sitting in his fucking ivory tower with fucking puppet strings and making me fucking dance through hoops and look at Twitter all day for no fucking updates.
Some people like to go birding and build Lego sets.
Maybe I should golf. Maybe I should start golfing.
Antique.
Like that's just fuck it.
Hey, come to Florida. I can get you some of those.
I'm not going to Florida. Have you watched the new Grand Theft Auto game? That's what it's based on. I'm not doing that.
This is literally Cody and I's DMs every single day.
Oh, this is incredible.
You should see it. If somebody saw me today, I literally have posted the cat Vietnam flashback like 4 times this week.
I had a panic attack in the middle of Kroger when Max Fried signed. The manager came out to make sure I was okay.
Not that it matters, but there was when Juan Soto signed, there's a stat that came out that he got signed for more money than the Pirates have spent in the last 10 years, and I was like, "Yep."
I was finishing a roundtable episode when I heard the news that he was going to the Mets, and then I stayed up till 4 a.m. watching highlights of Yankee fans burning jerseys and yelling and screaming at their phones.
Who is the one Yankee fan that had the baseball bat in his hand?
That was fucking the actor from The Longest Yard. I don't know.
Nick
Turturro.
Nick Turturro is like,
Yeah.
we gave you a hot, we rolled on the, we loved you. You went to the Mets. Enjoy the Mets.
He throws the
And then
bat
that
at
one
his
guy
house.
was like, this one guy was like having a video camera. Goes, turns it. He showed Citi Field and then turned around. And goes, this your new home. Enjoy it. Don't fucking cry. Don't fucking complain. Suck my fucking dick.
Was that the guy who talked about Scott Boras? Like, fuck you, Scott Boras.
I mean, like, imagine
Yeah,
if
how much
Cody
more money
was
you fucking
dirtier.
need, Scott Boras? You bitch.
Imagine if Cody was dirtier and way more of a scumbag. That's what that guy looked like.
Oh God, if I was a Yankee fan, I gave up drinking in my championship years. I didn't know my 30s were going to be like this. I should have just experienced it.
Cody, are you worried about this text chain getting out at some point and it being used against you as evidence?
No, anybody that would be like, that makes sense. That's what Cody would say. Yeah. I told myself I wanted to eat a shotgun today. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but I did. Mark, Panthers, Cowboys. What do you got?
I'll somewhat split the difference. I'm going to take the Panthers for 6. There's nothing about the Cowboys that gives it. If they were going to win a game, it would have been against Cincinnati. I mean, and they blew it. Like, and the Panthers are on the upswing. So, I mean, yeah, the Cowboys, yeah, they're fucking done. Like, there's no hope for them anymore, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna really show on Sunday.
How many losses in a row before Jerry Jones turns into dust? Like, live.
Yeah.
Hopefully another one. Just one
I'm
more.
going to take the Panthers for 6 as well. I mean, look, my bottom 7 games are all toss-ups. But I just don't. I mean, if you ask me to pick between the Cowboys defense and the Panthers defense, I guess I'll take the Panthers defense. I mean, Cooper Rush threw 2 picks against that Bengals defense. So why throw for 4 next week?
I mean, one of them wanted to be dropped. Like, they just kept fumbling.
Your opening day starter for the Boston Red Sox, Michael Fulmer. Fucking love my life. Love that. All right, next game. Falcons on a decline.
Hi.
Against the Raiders.
I didn't pick for the Cowboys.
Panthers, Cowboys. What do you got?
It could partially be my Cowboy hate. It could be the fact that I picked the Panthers as the winner this week.
Why do you
But I'm taking the Panthers for 14 points, baby. I have a lot of faith in the Cowboys losing this one.
He was big on Chubb Hubbard. He thought that last drive, they were almost there. They were the winners of the week.
If Leggett doesn't drop that ball, things could have been a lot different.
Enjoy your new fucking home. This is Carolina. It's the Panthers. Enjoy them. Don't fucking complain to me. Falcons, Raiders, Monday Night Football. Have you looked at both these Monday night games?
Ew.
You might as well just turn off your TV.
This fucking
there's
God.
2. They saved the best for the last.
Hey, look, it's a Desmond Mitter revenge game. So
Desmond who?
Mitter
is what he said.
He was punning. Bar, so I don't forget your fucking bitch ass. What's your pick?
This fucking game disgusts me. God, do I? Oh God, I don't. You know what? I'm gonna drop this down just a little bit. I originally had this for 9, but I'm dropping this down to 7. And I'm gonna pick the Falcons, but I don't know how much I actually trust that.
Scully.
Yeah, this is another, I guess, get right game for a team. In reality, I think Michael Penix should make his debut this week because he'll have a grand old time playing this damn Raiders defense. I'm gonna take the Falcons for 9. There's too much firepower, no matter what that coaching staff does to dilute it.
Robert.
As bad as he was this year, if this was like a Gardner Minshew game, it would give me some pause. But it's not that. It's a Desmond Ridder game. So thus my pause is less. I'm going to pick the Falcons for 10. But I feel like I need a shower after saying this.
I'm with you. I'm Falcons for 11. I'm not feeling very happy, but at the end of the day, they're terrible. They're a bad team.
It's really bad.
I can't do it. Antonio Pierce apparently was in a elevator with Dave Portnoy and said that they were fighting with the Patriots for the number 1 pick, like in the draft. So that's hilarious.
Great.
So apparently he's given up too. Mark, what say you? I love that you're saying let's go Dogs.
I mean,
I wasn't allowed to watch Aggie football, but is rooting for Texas' demise.
I mean, they did it. You know, they did more for me this college football season than my own team like this year. So you know, good on them. Do we know for sure O'Connell's not playing this game?
No, he's got a bone bruise.
He doesn't have a head right now.
Okay, I was just wondering. Like, I mean, as funny as it would be to see Desmond Ridder just light up the Falcons, like it's not. I mean, it's not gonna happen. Like the rest of you, I'm still picking the Falcons for 7. I mean, there's a bunch of wild shit this week. Like I don't like it, but you know, I guess you know, be another 10-6 game. You know, fuck whatever.
We might get Bueller.
Who's that?
I'd be happy.
No way. Yeah, his elbow's about to explode.
I would be very happy about that.
Okay.
By the way, did either Nazario or Coho send their picks in?
Nazario did. Coho did not. But I don't think it really matters. He's 6, so I don't want to do it. Of the games mentioned, he's got Panthers for 8, Falcons for 6, Cardinals for 10, Giants for Ravens for 16. Not Giants. Sorry.
That would be great.
That would have been rough. This would have been better if he was here, so we'll just skip the game right now. Colts going to Mile High. I have the Broncos for 12. Broncos for 12 points. I think the defense is too strong, and I think the Colts are just done, personally. Mark.
Yeah, Broncos for 9. I did. Yeah, just there's nothing about the culture right now that I just like feel great about. So yeah, I don't care. They're coming off the bye, whatever.
Robert.
Because I have less faith when we get to the game that involves teams for people who are here. I need the Colts to lose a game, and this is the most likely one that they will lose of the remaining schedule that they have. So I will pick the Broncos for 12. I say this as a guy who's going to start Anthony Richardson. in a fantasy playoff game. But that's fine. You know, Jerry Jeudy had 800 yards. So who knows?
Bar.
I apparently have more confidence in this than everyone else does. I'm taking the Broncos for 15. That
You're
defense.
3 points up. Calm the fuck down.
I thought this would be one of those like lockstep picks, to be completely honest with you. So
You don't watch football. I've
So?
said this every week. You don't watch it. You can't
Okay.
tell me you can't tell me it's a get right. You don't watch it.
There's at least
You
2
can't-
games I like more.
You're
than-
Poho. You watch the Eagles. He watches the Vikings, and then talks shit on the rest of the league.
you can't tell me that the Colts offense going up against that Broncos defense genuinely is like, that's kind of close.
You mean the Broncos defense that gave up
Sorry, yes, the Broncos defense versus the Colts offense.
38 to Jameis and 240 yards to Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Look at all of their other games. You can have a bad day.
That's not a bad. That's a fucking catastrophe. I hated the whole thing. Watching the
That was fucking Chernobyl.
yeah.
Like, fucking went outside and fucking dead bodies. And then there's
Fucking
it was a couple days. Relax. Jeez.
They let Denver let Judy walk. They say, "Hey, you can take your forehead and get out of here. Like, we don't want you here anymore."
But what are we going to project our movie screens on?
Fair.
I was gonna
Oh,
make a
Scully.
Dark Knight Rises joke, but I thought that would be in bad taste.
Yeah, I'm taking the Broncos for 11. It's kind of weird when you think that this game pretty much decides who the 7th seed's going to be, because the Colts are at this point the closest. I guess the Dolphins are a little bit closer, but I mean, I don't really think they're going to do that. So, I mean, if the Colts lose, their playoff hopes are done. If they win, they can probably find a way back in. So I expect a decent performance from them, but I think the Broncos are just too good.
Hey, Scully, why don't you share me some clips of we may be getting Walker Buehler? Because I ain't seen nothing. You're lying.
Scoops. It's that Scoops account that's been getting everything.
Scoops.
Scoops. Okay. Jets at Jaguars.
That was my nomination for the worst game of the week.
I didn't even see it. I have Jets for 5 points. I think this is the game they win. I would love it if they are up by 7 and lose by 8. Like they're just like getting caught. Scully.
Jets for 10. I mean, Mac Jones is quarterback, dude. It's not happening.
Or
I have Jags for 3.
God. Oh my God. This is-
go ahead. Explain this one. Because we were all dumb on the Broncos Indy. Please explain. What'd you see?
Oh, this one I don't know. I'm just throwing caution to the wind. I'm not going to win this.
No, you're throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
We leave you in like the room, come back, you just painted the walls with this shit. And you're like, that's Jaguars.
Look, guys, I've made an art piece.
I
Robert.
made it all by myself.
Let's take this up on the fridge.
Every day I think about, and I love Troy Fatano, but every day I think about what would the Steeler team look like if they had Brian Thomas Jr. And I think I'd feel really good about it, but they don't. And they fucked that up at this point. I have to say they fucked it up. Because I love Troy Fatano and he'd be starting, but he hurt himself and really could use weapons. That being said, and Mac Jones sucks, but Brian Thomas Jr. can still be decent even with Mac Jones throwing the ball. That tells you how good he is. That being said, fuck Brees Hall. Fucked a lot of people's fantasy leagues. Fuck him up the ass fully. Hate him.
Whoa.
Isaiah Davis, he's the guy. That's who you want. Just killing it. Third string running backs. Gotta love that running back group. Anyway, long story short, Jets for 7.
Jets for 7. Okay. Mark.
I don't want to kill Barr too much over this, just because the Jets right now are the Bears in the AFC, where they just keep finding ways every single week to just disappoint their fan base. They could lose this game. Could happen. Probably won't. The Jets can at least put points on the board. Jags put up 10 against the Titans. Probably not happening. I thought I was going nuts picking the Jets for 8, but I guess not.
Yeah. Commanders at Saints. Mark.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Commanders coming off a bye. I think I think they come out good here. I'm taking the Commanders for 12.
Robert?
When Barr was talking about the Broncos Colts game, he's like 15. I thought this was a lock. And then I looked at this game. I was like, well, it's not Derek Carr. I don't think Alvin Kamara can run the ball 60 times. Maybe they'll try. If I was the Commanders, I would put all 11 people in the box and say, hey, Spencer Rattler, the other guy whose name I don't remember, the Fresno guy, do anything. And he would fail because this is a failing situation. Commanders for 14. Let's
go. This would normally be a very high game for me.
Oh.
But I have to take swings this week.
Oh.
And I knew Robert was going to go high, which could bite me in the ass. I'm going Washington for 4. Because I have other big games left to go. But I'm very confident that they will win. I'm just listen, Barr, you can make head turns. I'm fucking shooting at a very high fucking clip on getting games right. I'm here to curse some seasons. I'm here to fuck some shit up, or I'm here to win. So maybe you should pick some games correctly, and then you can do the dog head turn at me.
Aside from last week, most of my predictions have been right.
You want me to pull that stat for you?
No. At least the ones I bet big on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wrong. 5, 4. Yeah.
The ones I bet big on, though.
Get on my face. We don't play the same sport. Barr, what's your pick?
Let me double check because my screen adjusted. I had the Commanders for 13.
Okay. Saints pull off a miracle. Everybody pisses down their leg. I only lose 4 points. You all lose high. Scully.
Commanders for 15.
Yeah, that's probably happening. Deal could happen tonight. Okay. What game? Chiefs going to the Cleveland Browns. I'll start. Chiefs for 2.
Oh.
They play close games all the time. It is in Cleveland. I'm not saying it's going to be a blow. I think they should run this game. I think they should run them out of the building. They don't run people out of the building. They could be up 14. Halftime comes, they come back, score 14. They're tied. A field goal wins it. But I have higher games for higher points. So games that are riskier. So 2 points. Scully.
Yeah, Chiefs for 13. I mean, it would be nice if they had one blowout. Who knows? It might be this one.
Let's go. What's up? Bar.
Chiefs for 12. I think this game's going to be like the last couple where for some reason it comes down to the wire. Jameis probably has like a 3-touchdown game, and then I don't know, he'll probably throw like a pick six like in their own red zone, and that'll be why the Chiefs win.
Robert.
I looked at this and I was like, I think Jameis will probably eat a little. But do I have any confidence, even in Cleveland, that they can muster any sort of witchcraft to combat this weird fucking necromancy that the Chiefs have? And I thought back to my days of playing Diablo. And I was like, they don't have enough spaces in their fucking bag to have enough runes to do any damage. So Chiefs for 15.
Mark.
I tried really hard to think if the Patriots ever had a season like this where they just won by like weird circumstances, like literally every single week, where they just had like they won every week because there was some weird thing, and it just it's happening too much, especially when it comes down to the Browns, where nobody loves Jameis thing more than me. I fucking love Jameis. Honestly, after he retires, he should just be named a coach for any NFL team, and we are guaranteed press conferences and
put him in the broadcast booth. Make him call a game, please.
Oh fuck that! I want to see him fire up a team with like some like before game speech. I want to see that. I just want to see
next
him
to Bob Costa. Bob. Having a little problem here. Game's good.
You're excited. Feel these nipples.
Did you give a point total?
I was just thinking of Jameis Winston being like the real life Pepper Brooks, like for ESPN.
Not be able to see very well.
Anyway, Chiefs for 13.
I'll tell you what, Boomer. I can't see anything, but I can see how this team wins this game.
I think there was a recent team. I don't know if it was the Eagles or Vikings, but they were winning like 1-score games. It was always like the one score, and then just fell apart near the end. So again, I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but I believe that come playoff times, we're all going to sit here and we're all going to say the same things, and then it's going to be like this game is never like they just turn a switch. I don't know. I could be wrong this time. We thought that last year. Who knows? But
they are playing like if you ever watch Dragon Ball Z, there's times when like Goku and Vegeta, they like intentionally make the things harder for themselves just to test themselves. They're like the Chiefs are like wearing weighted clothing right now. And when the playoffs come, they'll take the weighted clothing off and Travis Kelce will have like 8 catches for 100 yards. And people will be like, hey, remember this? Like, yeah, because we were fucking around with you the whole time. And you know this, man.
That
was like the time where after the rest of the Chargers game, and then I think it was like the Baltimore game. Like he wasn't that active. He didn't hit the 1,000 yards for the first time, and then he got 14 catches for like 100 and he just blew everything up. It's just they know, and the thing is, like you can say it's 1-score games. As long as you're on the right side of the one-side game, it really doesn't matter to me, like at all. Like they know that they know if they get the ball back. Now, I would say the weird ones that you can't is like when the blocked field goal, the miss, like the fumble off those are problematic. But like when they got the ball last minute, be able to suck the clock completely out, go right down and kick the field goal, even though it doinked off the upright. I mean, it should have went the other way for somebody at one time, but of course it didn't. But yeah, we'll see. Bengals at Titans. I have Bengals for 13 points. Just think it's an obvious one there. But they have also played with their food, like they cannot stop anything, so anything's possible. Bar. Bar?
Oh, me. I thought you said Mark for a second.
No,
I have the Bengals for 11.
Robert.
If you have fantasy people in this for the first week, congrats on the win, because it's probably going to happen. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, maybe Calvin Ridley. Who knows? That would be nice. I also have Bengals for 11.
Mark.
Yeah, Bengals proved they can beat, backup or, second-tier quarterbacks. So, should be another win. Bengals for 14.
Scully.
Bengals for 14. Yeah.
Buccaneers versus the Chargers. Scully.
Good game. High scoring game, I think. I'm gonna take the Chargers for 5. Although in any other week this would be like the 1 or the 2 pointer. This is just a really, really stacked week of close games. I feel like we have to do everything in our power to make the NFC South champion, either 9-8 or 8-9. So we can't let the Bucks, get too far ahead. Got to keep the Falcons in it towards the very end. So, Chargers for 5.
Mark.
Yeah, I gotta feel a little bit spicy. I'm gonna take the Bucks for 2. There's just something weird going on with the Chargers right now. It's just like I don't know, like
Dobbins.
Yeah, like that's definitely part of it. It's just like they just don't feel like they feel like a team that is losing momentum down the stretch. And they're meeting a team that, is kind of hitting their high at this point. So listen, like Baker could easily go up against Chargers at home against that defense, get stuffed or whatever. But I mean, this feels like it's trending more towards Tampa Bay, I feel like.
Robert.
Yeah, Chargers, no Dobbins, no McConkey. Will Dissly got hurt at the end of the first half. They had no fucking offense whatsoever. Herbert's hurt as well. But I think I had to look this up because I got concerned thinking about this. I think Ladd McConkey's going to come back, and I think that will open things back up for them. I don't anticipate the Bucks being able to stop them. Chargers kind of need a get-right game at this point, given what's happened the last few weeks. So I'm picking the Chargers for 6. But it's close. I don't like it that much.
Bar?
I'm picking the Buccaneers for 5. If you were to ask me, out of all of the teams currently in the playoff picture, which one is the most likely to fall out of it, I'd probably say the Chargers. With Dobbins out, that hurts. As Robert said, Justin Herbert, he's kind of dinged up. Yeah, I just think the Chargers are in for a little bit of a shaky patch, and the Buccaneers, I think, are just starting to get a rhythm that they will ride that wave.
Buccaneers for 10.
Okay.
I think they have some, like, I think the Chargers are losing the step. They're not as dominant. They have too many injuries. Their offensive line is pretty rough right now. Herbert got hit a lot on Sunday. I think Baker will literally put himself through a brick wall. And they're not great against the Chargers are not great against the run. And the Bucks have like a three-headed monster that they can basically just trade off to and see what happens. And Mike Evans and stuff like that. So I'm going Bucks for 10. It's one of the ones I had to take the risk for this week.
Can I say, in light of what Barr said about them falling out of the playoffs, they do end with Patriots and Raiders.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Oh, they're in the playoffs.
They'll probably.
No. Hey.
I think that the playoff picture is pretty much set, but
he don't watch ball. He watch Eagles. He got Delco. That's what he does. He goes.
Yeah, I got my Wawa hoagies and my Coke Zeros and my Water Royce.
Hang in the Pickaninnies.
Oh my god, we're gonna go to the stadium.
Yeah.
Green Bay going to the 12th man, if that's still a thing.
Fucking thieves.
Bar.
I had this game so much higher, and then I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I dropped this down to 6 points. And I'm gonna take. Oh God, I'm not even confident in my pick here, but I'm gonna take the Packers. But I could easily see this swinging either way.
Robert.
People always talk about like moral victories, and people are like, you know what? The Packers lost on Thursday night, but they proved they can go into Detroit and they can hang with Detroit. You're like, I don't give a shit about your moral victories. They lost because they couldn't stop a fucking nosebleed. But this is Seattle, and they can't play this many games in a row well. They just can't. It's just impossible. So I'm picking the Packers for 8. Get back on the winning side. Get to a 12-win season, but be a 6 seed, which is fucking weird. Here we
go. Mark.
Yeah, didn't they have to start calling themselves like the 12s? Because, A&M was like, yeah, no, you cut that shit out. That's our thing. Fuck you. At least I'm pretty sure that's how that conversation went. There's nothing about Seattle I trust. Like, they're ahead right now. It's a mirage. It's going to correct itself. Should, happen against the Packers. I curve Robert, Packers for 10.
I have Packers for 3. Who knows? Could be. I honestly think like they could drop another one. I don't know, but like their defense did not look great. Seattle is kind of surging, but I still think Seattle can lose this. Well, should lose this game, but again, have to take some risks up at the top. So, Barr.
I already said.
You did.
Oh, sorry. Just Scully. Scully, what do you say?
I would like my Rams NFC West champion agenda to keep going, so I'm going to take the Seahawks for 2. But hey, if they win this one, you could probably wrap it up. But it'll be a tight one, so I'll take the Seahawks for 2.
What do we got left?
We have 5 games.
What are we missing? Rams at 49ers. I have the Rams for 1 point. A division game, the West scares the shit out of me of all the games. I don't feel confident about any of those when they play each other. The 49ers found something last week. Who knows? The Rams found something last week. Who knows? Both defenses against other teams besides the Bears look like they're fucking anything. So 1 point. Scully.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams for 7. Again, close game, but I mean, yeah, I think the Rams' offense is just too good right now. It's just too good. So I'm take the Rams.
Okay. Robert.
I wanted to pick the Niners so we would have an 8-6 team and 3 7-7 teams because that's what we deserve from this division.
It's true.
But I don't see how the Niners, in their current iteration, stop the Rams at all. And I don't want to be on that side. I keep not picking the Niners correctly, except for that one time. So I'm going to pick the Rams for 3.
Mark.
Division game, NFC West, Thursday night. This is 1-pointer fucking written all over it. Literally anything can happen. I'm picking the Rams because I want to see the Rams win. That's literally it.
Bar, did I say you? Did I go to you?
Not yet. Mark pretty much said everything that I would have. The Thursday night division game. However, I am going to pick the Rams for 2 points.
Stop the press. Stop it. He's crazy. He's drinking again. All right. Dolphins going to Houston. Bar.
Is it weird how confident I am in this game?
Didn't know what side.
Because I'm taking the Dolphins for 9. I just don't trust the Texans, and Tua's accuracy is the highest in the league right now. They've got Achane.
How many over 15-yard passes does he really have?
I don't fucking care.
Yeah, because you don't watch ball.
I've watched enough to know that the
Fell
Texans
right into my trap. Yeah.
I've watched enough to know that the Texans are kind of struggling right now.
Came off a bye. They're coming off a bye.
I don't fucking care.
Whoa, he says, fuck your buys.
Yeah. Fuck your buys. Yeah. I feel like Achane's going to just like run all over the Texans. So.
I feel like I'm always picking on Bar, and I don't mean to, but he's like, yeah, I think the Achane's going to run all over him. Pulled up his stat line. Yeah, he has a lot of rush yards. I think he's got this. Like, he doesn't.
This is why I need Coho on the show, because he takes the bullets when he's here.
That's right. Well, yeah, because he just like opens himself up. He's like, Kevin O'Connell's top 5 head coach.
And then I'm over here
Robert.
just like.
I'm with Bar. Fuck your buy. Like Texans, they're missing something. They're missing a piece of themselves. Their soul. I don't know.
An O-line.
I mean, it's supposed to be better. It was decent last year. No, I think Slowick is a terrible offensive coordinator, and he should be put in football jail for what he has done to this offense. I like Stephon Diggs, great, he's gone, but like they should be relevant enough, and they can't be. And I can't get everything I want. I already said the Colts would lose, but I can't get the Dolphins to lose so that the Steelers can back into a playoff spot. So I'm picking the Dolphins for 4.
Some stuff that I thought was being crazy with, some people are agreeing with me. I got Dolphins or 6. I don't believe in Houston. I think Houston's running on an expiring clock right now. I don't think they just are having weird timing in the passing that doesn't work. Since he big broed Caleb Williams on the field, he just hasn't looked the same. And like they have Joe Mixon, but sometimes like just don't rely on him enough. Like they just like it's like I'm CJ Stroud, I have to pass. Which whatever. So I'm going 6. Mark.
Okay. So anybody's catching up, it's gonna be me. Listen, they're coming off the bye. They're at home, and Nazario's not here. But if he was, he would be saying the Dolphins are gonna fuck it up somehow. They always do because they're the fucking Dolphins. And this does it as a game. Like this feels like a game they should win just because like they're starting to surge a bit. But I mean, they won it like they won a game in overtime against the Jets. So whatever. Like
It's important.
I mean, yeah, I just this I think the bye came at the right time for them. Late in the season, I think there's a good chance they can probably still go on a run here. Offense relatively healthy, at least with Nico Collins staying down. So yeah, just as a person who has a lot of fantasy implications, at least riding on this game, a lot of Texans and Dolphins on my rosters. Just hoping for a lot of points here more so, but I will take the Texans for 4.
Scully.
This is going to be my 1-pointer. Taking the Texans for 1. I think this could go any way possible. Miami's offense has gotten a lot better, a lot more consistent. And I think this is the week where we see the Houston Texans kind of get back into that fold as well. They're playing a team that has a very weak pass defense. If the offensive line can give CJ Stroud time to deliver the ball, I think it'll be a pretty easy offensive day for them. So, with that being said, I am going to take them for 1, but again, it could go either way.
All right, final 2 games, right?
Think so.
Yeah.
Minnesota Bears at Minnesota and Pittsburgh. Or wait, do I say Bills yet?
No, there's 3.
3.
3.
Bills
Yeah.
won. Okay. Bears at Minnesota. Scully.
Yeah, I really wish it would be for less, but take the Vikings for 8. We should have made Richard Hightower the interim head coach and just kept Thomas Brown in the booth. Now, look, they could
Maybe
easily...
he can see the field as well, being on the sideline, do you think?
Yeah. He's... I think whenever you move a coordinator from the booth to the field, you kind of take away that bird's eye view they get as to how everything is shaped. But again, they could turn it around. I mean, Caleb threw for 330 against the Vikings last time around. So it could be a close game again, but this is not good. So Vikings for 8.
Robert.
I assume this will be a nice capper of a shitty Monday night doubleheader. What the fuck? Vikings for 13.
I'm not making up any fucking ground.
Vikings
for Vikings for 14. I have nothing to motherfucker bar.
Vikings for 8.
Mark.
Yeah, the Bears have a lot of 3 and 2 win teams they got to catch up to in the draft. So give me the Vikings for 15.
just because the other game is more important for this podcast, we'll go to this game next. It's a travesty that both of these are happening in the 3 o'clock window.
Sickening.
Bills going to Ford Field against the Lions. Mark.
Yeah, I think there's a chance they come playing angry here this one, even though they're going to Ford Field. I'm going to take the Bills for 3.
Robert?
I was going to pick the Bills, but then I remembered how I felt last week when I picked the Packers. Very similar situation-ish. And then I was like, I kind of want good things to happen to my team. And this is really the last time the Bills have a chance to lose another game. So I'm going to pick the Lions for 5.
Got him right where I want him. Bills for 7. I think the defense is pretty weak on the side of. I think both defenses are pretty bad right now, personally. But game on the line, fate of the universe. Give me Iguodala. Give me Josh Allen, the Superman himself, inside that dome. I think if it's not a block punt, I think the Bills win last week. That's the only thing that really changed the game. So I'm going to go with Josh Allen and then just to take it. And if not, well, congratulations, Robert is a single season champion already. Scully.
This is tough.
No, it's not. Listen to your heart. It's only
for you.
Yeah, I'm still going to take the Lions for 3. And I only say that because it's Ford Field. If they were playing this game in Buffalo, I would
well, no
probably
shit, Sherlock. The rest of us would say the fucking same thing.
Well, I mean,
They played outdoor in the cold, yeah.
But this is one of those games where home field really does make a difference. That's becoming less and less of a factor nowadays. But this is one of those environments where it's impossible to win.
Who was that? Mark? Have you went?
Yeah.
Of course, I forget my best friend at the bottom bar. Hey, buddy.
Love you too, buddy. Hey.
Listen to your heart.
I did. And it's telling me that the Lions defense right now is just too injured to go up against fucking Superman right now. So I'm picking the Bills, but for 1.
I thought your heart would say stop working at Trader Joe's. That's weird. But I told you about this game. That's good though. Last game on the slate. Battle of Pennsylvania. The election was going down here. This is weird. What did you say, Scully?
I said I love these sea salt brownies from Trader Joe's.
Time for the battle of the swing state, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The battle of pride. Deciding if we do a Phillies podcast or a Pittsburgh podcast on the line. No, I'd rather do a Phillies podcast. I'd rather fucking eat batteries.
The Pittsburgh Steelers going to Philadelphia.
Going to Philadelphia. Gonna try their hands at the steel. Good luck with the steel cutting, you fucking birds. Can't fly through the curtain.
They're gonna weld them to the ceiling.
By the way, Mike Tomlin, arguably one of the funniest head coaches in the entire game. I will say that before this game starts. You're mic'd up. Shut your ass up. Get going. Like he just yells. He's so funny.
He's the
you
best reason
two,
to watch Hard Knocks right now.
you two are going to wait to talk. Us three will discuss first. Scully, Pennsylvania.
I'm going to take the Eagles for 4. I know that, like, logic is telling me that, Russell Wilson really never loses to the Eagles, that he was supposed to be an Eagle until the Seahawks decided to trade up in front of, or that the Seahawks traded up in front of the Eagles. And that I think Pittsburgh is probably overall having the better stretch right now. But I don't know. I think this can be a game where, Brown and Hurts kind of rediscover that spark. I think Saquon's going to have a big game, and that's going to really affect it. And then, of course, no George Pickens is going to be huge. So if you're Russell Wilson, you got to really think about who you trust to catch the ball. And if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm giving Justin Fields 10 to 15 snaps to where he can just run the ball. Just try to get them out of the rhythm. But I'm taking the Eagles for 4.
Cute. Mark.
Yeah, I know exactly how this game's going to go. Going to be like 6 minutes into the fourth quarter. It's going to be 16-14. Eagles got 2 tutties. The Steelers going to have a 1 touchdown with like 3 Boswell field goals. I think that's what, 3 Boswell field goals. And it's going to be really close. Thinking, it's going to go either way. And then Eagles are going to start at their own 35, and Saquon's going to run a 65-yard touchdown, and then they're just going to hold on. Like that's how the game's going to go. All right, that's how the game's going to go. I'm just telling you right now. Eagles for 5.
Well, now there's no point in watching the game.
Yeah, I don't care.
Philadelphia Eagles for 15 points.
I figured this was coming.
15 points for the Eagles.
God damn it, Cody. God damn it.
Because 2 things happen. 1, fuck the Eagles, fuck them. Make Barr miserable. Love it. If I'm right, fuck Robert. I'm right. I gained some points on this. Because if he's a real fan, there's going to be a point value on the Steelers. If he's not a real fan, he's a scumbag. And you are kicked off the Pittsburgh Pirates podcast immediately. Anyways, because I'm about to be a Pittsburgh Pirate fan after the winter meetings, I promise you. I'd rather, if my team's going to act like it, I might as well just enjoy the black. And I look better in black than I do in navy and red. I look like a massive stop sign.
Do you want to be a fan of a team where Ben Sherrington is the GM?
Yeah, it's a tough beat.
It doesn't fucking matter. Our GM sits up there and goes, "Division, we're gonna win." Fuck it. We're not paying for anybody. Fuck you. We offered $700 million. Here's the thing. The best threat for the Steelers is their pass rush. The best offensive line, one of the best offensive lines, is the Eagles. The best thing about the Eagles right now is the run stop. Steelers are hurting on the outside right now of receivers, and they also have great DBs. They have been locked down. I think over time, if this was in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl, I probably would have maybe flipped because I could see the Steelers at full health being better. But I think not grabbing a number 1 receiver in a trade or off season or whatever it could be this is going to be the game that's going to hurt them because I think they got Austin and Van Jefferson, and who's the corner that literally locked up Terry McLaurin on
Quinion Mitchell.
Yeah,
I think he's just going to literally lock whoever the first option is, and if they get if they get a lot of passes, it's going to be from like their tight ends. Like I don't see much going down the middle, and I think that could be it. But I don't think they're going to get much run game going. So that's why I'm very confident on the Eagles. I think the Eagles have a lot of discourse right now. It's like, oh, I heard them like bitch and moan about 22-16 against the fucking Panthers. What the fuck are we doing, motherfucker? It's called a look-ahead game. They don't fucking care about the Panthers. They have zero effort on the Panthers. They could care less about the Panthers. They were focused on this week. They were focused on the Steelers. They were looking ahead to the Steelers game. They were game planning all week for the Steelers. They don't care about what happens in these games, and they did enough to win. Pittsburgh has got a hard slate of games coming up. They got this, and then they got they play the Ravens one more time. They play the Chiefs. They play the Eagles. It's just going to be a hard slate. I just think the Eagles put it away pretty convincingly, and I think Saquon calls game at some point, but I think it's going to be a little earlier than Mark suggested. All right. Got your go to Wawa. What's up? Let's go Pennsylvania. Tell me what's up. Who wins? Either one.
I'm going to pick the Eagles. However, it is a game where I could see us potentially losing.
Let's see.
However, I think it was brought up that George Pickens is probably going to be out. And outside of him, with Quinyon Mitchell, Reed Blankenship, the Cooper DeJean, that secondary is just a little bit too good. So I'm going to pick the Eagles, but I'm only picking them for 4.
Pussy.
Big Jalen Warren game. Let's go.
There are conflicting things here. Steelers have not won in Philadelphia since 1965. That is a real thing. I endured it when I was in college in 2008. Phillies were on their World Series run, and I was getting made fun of because they were like, oh, we don't care about this game, Eagles. Like, we care about the Phillies. How many titles did the Pirates have? And I said 5 to their 2. I was like, fuck off. I know what I'm talking about. I don't give a shit about your history. Anyway, they destroyed us in that game. And you know what happened? Steelers went on and won the Super Bowl that year. The other side of this is Russell Wilson's 5-0 against the Eagles. So something weird, something has to give somewhere. When I was watching the beginning of that Browns game, I was like, this is really bad because they don't know how to move the ball at all with no George Pickens. Then they figured some stuff out, and that was cool. But the problem is that when I was looking at this and comparing it to what could happen this time, I said, well, that's Jameis and a bevy of clowns. And this week, it's, not a bevy of clowns, actually competent people. So if we get into that same situation to start, which we always start slow, Steelers, I don't see how the Eagles don't put up like 14 points at least, and they're down, and I don't know how they come back. So Cody, I am a scumbag.
Scumbag.
Because I have no faith that the Steelers can win this game.
Bart just leaves.
He did. But in my no faith, I'm only picking the Eagles for 1. Because I want to hedge a bit so that I'm wrong. Steelers can win, keep the 2 seed alive, even the 1 seed alive, technically. And I don't feel like an asshole completely. But
so you don't believe in this clip right here? I don't know what this is. I just see Mike Tomlin's head.
I am inevitable.
That was strange.
You don't believe in that?
He already did his inevitability. He got his fucking non-losing season. He already did that. So
okay, yeah. You're a scumbag. Just want that on the record.
Kick me off
the scumbag
podcast. I don't care.
Yeah, Paul Skeens Day is going to be very sad when you're not allowed to attend it anymore with us. So that's
Remember when they told him he won Rookie of the Year and he was like, "Cool,"
because he knows he has 4 more seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, 3 more until he gets traded for a prospect haul.
Yeah. Livy Dunn is just dying inside. That's why she went back to school because she can't stand being there anymore, and that's fine. I don't blame her.
What if they got people that could actually hit the baseball? Shut up.
Boy, that would be novel. I remember
Bill
Bill
Cruz enjoy him.
you would love, by the way.
I remember in 2013 when Andrew McCutchen was the MVP. He could hit. That was fun.
You're about to get a first baseman from us, so just be ready for that.
Just give us Jared Jones and you'll be fine.
We will give you Tristan Casas, and you will give us Jared Jones and Bubba something Chandler.
Chandler, thank you.
Bubba. That is a Red Sox pitcher if I've ever heard
You know
one.
what?
Bubba.
Because I'm nice, we'll give you back a roll as Chapman too.
Yeah, you can have him back this year. There's 105 pitch to domestic violence. All right, that's the show. Everybody, thank you so much for being on. We will catch you next week. I hope to be in a better mood, but I probably won't be. Next week live, help me pick my NL team to watch this season because I won't be watching Red Sox baseball. Bye.